I am very happy to have my next guest join us. He's a talented artist who just dropped a brand new EP called Baby Blue. It is PLUKO. My friend, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Very good. I am very impressed with this background you have going on here. What is going on? Where are you right now?
Yeah. So I'm in Pennsylvania. This is where I grew up, and yeah, this is where everything started for me. And yeah, I was in New York City for a little bit and was living there. And luckily, I was just subletting. And when the pandemic and everything happened, I was able to come back here and not be like trapped in the city. So yeah, I came back here, kind of back to my roots, and started. Well, I was finishing my album at the time. So yeah, it's great to be in my hometown. It's a little boring, but yeah, it's nice.
So this is your home in Pennsylvania. This is where you first started making music as a youth, and this is where you got exposed to various genres of music and those kind of things. What was the music playing in your household that you didn't discover? Meaning, what was your family playing? What was your dad or your mom, one of your parents, playing while you're going to the grocery store?
Yeah, yeah. So for my family, I'd say, well, first of all, I have three older sisters, and all of them were in either band or orchestra or something like that. So I was always at these orchestra concerts and all sorts of like I think I went to it was either like a play or an orchestra concert before I came home from the hospital when I was born. Like it was just like what my family did. So that was a lot of the music, and I to be honest, I hated it because I was this little kid and I had to sit still for 3 hours straight. And so, but now I like love classical music and really appreciate it. But then as far as other music that was just kind of played around my environment, we listened to like a lot of the stuff like Dave Matthews stuff and like John Mayer. That like my parents were really into that, and then like obviously all the stuff that's on the radio and that whole thing. But yeah, and then I stole my sister's iPod when I was in like first grade, and it had all this like Lil Wayne on it and stuff like that. So I got into hip hop when I was like 7 years old or something, way too young. But yeah, I was hooked on hip hop at that point.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
At
it was
seven
a
years
danger
old.
too. I'd listen to it in school too in first grade. I never got caught, but yeah, I could have gotten in a lot of trouble as an elementary school kid.
So then you obviously you picked up the computer, you got exposed to all the different tools and basic things, I would assume like GarageBand and started making your own beats and whatnot. When did you visualize, or when was that moment when you were able to visualize becoming an actual artist, someone that's actually making music for a living, for their life purpose, so to speak?
Yeah. Well, do you mean like when I realized that I wanted to do that, or when I realized that it was like kind of working?
Both.
Okay.
Kind of an A and B question.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good question. I think I realized I wanted to do it really as soon as I'm like so obsessive with things. Like as soon as I get into something, I just like I'm all about it. Like nothing else in the world matters but that thing. And when I got into music, I was like, this is what I want to do. I just had this feeling, and it never went away. And I've always, I remember the one moment was when I was watching Skrillex on the Ultra Music Festival like live stream, and seeing that he's playing for like it's got to be 80,000 people or something like that. And I was like, damn, that is so cool. I really want to do that. And so I think that was really a very pivotal moment in like my work ethic of realizing, okay, like I could make this happen. Like Skrillex 8 years ago was probably in the same situation I was in. So I was super pumped at that point. And then I think when I realized, I mean, it was a gradual thing. I gradually got better at making music and gradually started to get more people to listen to it. And I'd always like go home and tell my parents like, oh, I got 10,000 streams or I got 100,000 streams or whatever it was. And every time they get a little bit like more enthusiastic, but you could tell like they didn't really understand yet, just because it's just such a new thing. And even when I was at the point where I was like, this song has 1 million streams on SoundCloud, it was still like just a number, But I think the thing that really made me realize that I could do this was when my parents like stopped worrying and stopped like asking me questions about what I was doing, and started coming to shows and seeing people show up to the shows. And when they met like the Odessa people and the Foreign Family people, and we were all talking together, and they were talking about my music and how stoked they were on all that. I think that's when they really were like, okay, like this is a legitimate thing. Just keep doing that, and we'll let you go and stay out of your way. Because at the time I was like 16 or 17 with wouldn't do any of my homework. I wouldn't do anything. Everybody knew I wasn't going to college. And so it was like probably pretty nerve wracking for them. So when I realized, when they relaxed, that's when I was like, okay, like I got their approval.
So here you are. You're in your childhood home.
Yeah.
You're a
Living
performing
the
artist
life.
now. You're legit. And congrats on this EP you just dropped. A lot of great songs are on there, man. And the one that really stood out to me was the one that you released prior to the drop, which is the sound that you did with Moby Rich. And I'm curious, I know that a lot of people have already been collaborating over email and Dropbox and things, but for you, what was that process like, not being able to be physically in the same room and creating such a great song?
Yeah. So that one was, yeah, I've never met those guys yet. So that one was a virtual thing that happened. It was a demo that I wrote with this bass line and these cool drums, pretty minimal. That I began the idea maybe in like February or something like that, a little bit before the pandemic. And initially, I had my vocals on it, and I've been singing a lot more on my tracks, but I had never gone down to like super grungy alternative vocals. And then I kind of got to this point where I was like, I can't do this. Like, this isn't what my voice sounds like. Let's find somebody that does this and is very, very good at it. And so I went on this hunt to. I went all over Spotify to find my favorite alternative artists that weren't like massive, because I had obviously a bunch of alternative people that I liked, but like I'd have no chance of working with them at this point because they have like 10 million monthly listeners. But I found a bunch of cool people, and I found Moby Rich, which was a super standout artist, and it's two guys. They sing at the same time, and yeah, I just reached out to them on Instagram and was like, hey guys, I got this demo that I have some scratch vocals, no real lyrics yet, but just kind of the vibe. Like, what do you guys think? And they were instantly in, and they cut the vocals pretty much within a couple of days. They were pretty stoked on it.
I understand you're also doing something on Twitch pretty exclusively here, and this is amazing. Congratulations on this. It's a partnership where you're doing some exclusive things with
Totally.
music, production. Tell me more about this production aspect and the other things that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm really pumped. I've been getting everything ready. I've been learning all about OBS and all the technical stuff, and having headaches with the Stream Deck here and all that stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I'm super pumped. I've always wanted to do a stream. I go live on Instagram every now and then, and I'm always frustrated because people can't see what I'm doing, and it's hard to talk to them. And so everybody's always like, do something with Twitch, do something on Twitch. And I don't know if it's gonna be every Saturday, but maybe 2 Saturdays a month or something. I'm gonna do DJ sets for like 2.5 hours. I'm gonna do some production streams and just kind of talking with the chat, and talking with fellow producers and people that just want to talk about music or just want to watch what I'm doing. I had this idea to do like a fly on the wall stream, and kind of have a camera out in the corner, and it's not really as interactive as the other streams, but I'm going to be like with my synthesizers, making stuff on the fly, and you can just kind of casually. It doesn't have to be this intense watching like entertainment experience. You can just kind of watch me like play around with my synths and make new patches and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to this, and I'm sure your fans can't either. It's going to be great to not only just see you perform live, but get into your head and talk about the production aspect. And you obviously talking with other people will be so educational and may introduce a new Skrillex or new PLUKO, or somebody that may be inspired to take it to another level on whatever they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've always been super appreciative of people that could offer advice and aren't just like in their own world and don't care about like the up and coming people, because like when you're at that stage, that's all you want is for these people to kind of help you out, or at least give you some sort of advice. And that's I always kind of put myself in the shoes of when I was 14, 15, had no idea what I was doing, and I needed some guidance. I think that is super important to make sure I play that role, as on top of being an artist.
Right. Gosh, we're big fans of your music. look forward to these streams and obviously everything else that you have coming up. And I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was great. Great combo.